Why only an empath can destroy a narcissist's life. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to hold an inexplicable power over others, even when those others appear untouchable? Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and paradoxical dynamics in human relationships. Why only an empath can destroy a narcissist's life. Yes, you heard that right. While narcissists are often seen as invincible, manipulative, self-centered, and untouchable by emotions, it is precisely their vulnerability to empaths that can unravel their carefully constructed world. Empaths, with their extraordinary ability to feel deeply and connect on a soul level, possess a unique weapon that can dismantle the very foundation of a narcissist's existence. But how does this happen? What makes the empath-narcissist dynamic so volatile, yet so transformative? If you've ever questioned the balance between love, power, and destruction, stay tuned until the end, because this story will challenge everything you thought you knew. Before we dive deeper, I want to thank you for being here. Your presence matters, and so does your engagement. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with anyone who might find it valuable. Together, let's create meaningful conversations around topics that truly matter. Now, let's begin. In the intricate tapestry of human psychology, few relationships are as polarizing, or as captivating, as the dynamic between empaths and narcissists. These two personality types are like opposite poles of a magnet, drawn together by forces they may not fully understand, yet destined to clash in ways that can either heal or destroy. At first glance, the empath and the narcissists seem incompatible. One radiates compassion and sensitivity, while the other thrives on control and validation. Yet, beneath the surface lies a complex interplay of attraction, manipulation, and ultimately, transformation. The question at the heart of today's discussion is simple yet profound. Why is it that only an empath has the potential to destroy a narcissist's life? To answer this, we must delve into the psychological underpinnings of both personalities, exploring how their strengths and weaknesses intersect in ways that create both connection and chaos. Along the way, we'll uncover the hidden vulnerabilities of the narcissist, the empath's innate ability to expose them, and the ripple effects of this collision on both individuals and their shared reality. Let's start by understanding who these archetypes are. An empath is someone who possesses an extraordinary ability to sense, absorb, and reflect the emotions of others. They are deeply attuned to the pain and joy of those around them, often feeling these emotions as if they were their own. This heightened sensitivity makes empaths natural healers, capable of offering comfort, understanding, and unconditional support. However, it also leaves them vulnerable to emotional exhaustion, especially when their generosity is exploited by those who seek to take rather than give. On the other hand, a narcissist operates from a place of ego and entitlement. Their primary focus is themselves, and they view relationships through the lens of utility. What can this person do for me? How can they fulfill my desires? Narcissists crave admiration, validation, and control, often resorting to manipulation and exploitation to maintain their inflated sense of self-worth. Beneath their confident exterior, however, lies a fragile core, a deep-seated fear of inadequacy, rejection, and abandonment that drives much of their behavior. When these two personalities meet, the initial attraction is almost inevitable. The empath sees potential for healing in the brokenness of the narcissist, believing they can help fill the voids left by past wounds. Meanwhile, the narcissist views the empath as a source of endless validation and admiration, a perfect match for their insatiable need for attention. At first, this dynamic seems harmonious, The empath offers unwavering support, while the narcissist provides the illusion of strength and stability. But as time goes on, cracks begin to form. The turning point occurs when the empath realizes the true nature of the narcissist's behavior. Initially, they may dismiss red flags, attributing selfishness or coldness to external stressors or misunderstandings. However, repeated instances of manipulation, neglect, and emotional abuse force the empath to confront the harsh truth: the narcissist is incapable of genuine reciprocity. This realization marks the beginning of a seismic shift in the relationship. What sets the empath apart from other partners is their unparalleled ability to see through the narcissist's facade. Unlike others who might be blinded by charm or charisma, the empath instinctively senses the emptiness beneath the surface. They recognize the narcissist's desperate need for validation as a cry for help, a manifestation of unresolved trauma and insecurity. Armed with this insight, the empath wields a power that no one else can replicate: the ability to pierce the narcissist's armor and expose their deepest vulnerabilities. But how exactly does this process unfold? And why does it lead to the destruction of the narcissist's life? To understand this, we must examine the stages of the empath-narcissist dynamic, from attraction and disillusionment to confrontation and collapse. At the outset, the empath enters the relationship with noble intentions. They genuinely believe they can heal the narcissist, helping them overcome their fears and insecurities. This belief fuels their willingness to sacrifice their own needs and boundaries, often to their detriment. As the relationship progresses, the empath becomes increasingly entangled in the narcissist's web of manipulation. They pour their energy into supporting, coddling, and excusing the narcissist's behavior, hoping that their efforts will eventually yield change. However, the narcissist's inability to reciprocate creates a growing imbalance. The more the empath gives, the more the narcissist takes, perpetuating a cycle of codependency and exploitation. Eventually, the empath reaches a breaking point. Exhausted and depleted, they begin to question whether their sacrifices are worth it. This internal conflict marks the transition from blind loyalty to conscious resistance. Once the empath decides to reclaim their power, they embark on a journey of self-discovery and empowerment. They start by setting firm boundaries, refusing to tolerate manipulative or abusive behavior. For the narcissist, this sudden shift is disorienting. Accustomed to controlling every aspect of the relationship, they struggle to adapt to the empath's newfound assertiveness. Desperate to regain dominance, they may escalate their tactics, resorting to guilt-tripping, gaslighting, or outright hostility. Yet, the empath remains undeterred. Drawing upon their intuition and emotional intelligence, they continue to call out the narcissist's behavior, exposing its roots in fear and insecurity. Each confrontation chips away at the narcissist's carefully constructed facade, forcing them to confront aspects of themselves that they spent years suppressing. This process is inherently destabilizing, leaving the narcissist feeling exposed, vulnerable, and powerless. As the empath dismantles the narcissist's defenses, they inadvertently trigger a crisis of identity. Stripped of their usual coping mechanisms, the narcissist is forced to reckon with their inner demons. Without the constant stream of validation provided by the empath, they experience a profound sense of emptiness and despair. In extreme cases, this can lead to a complete breakdown, shattering the narcissist's sense of self and rendering them incapable of functioning in their usual manner. It's important to note that the empath's role in this process is not malicious. While their actions may result in the narcissist's downfall, their intention is rooted in self-preservation and justice. After enduring years of mistreatment, the empath feels compelled to reclaim their autonomy and protect their well-being. By holding the narcissist accountable for their actions, they not only liberate themselves, but also create an opportunity for the narcissist to confront their flaws and potentially grow. From a psychological perspective, this dynamic highlights the transformative power of empathy. When wielded consciously and responsibly, empathy becomes a catalyst for change, challenging individuals to confront uncomfortable truths and embrace personal growth. In the case of the narcissist, exposure to an empath's unwavering honesty and compassion can serve as a wake-up call, prompting them to reevaluate their priorities and behaviors. Of course, this outcome is far from guaranteed. Many narcissists resist introspection, doubling down on their defensive mechanisms rather than facing their vulnerabilities. For these individuals, the empath's intervention may simply hasten their descent into chaos. Nevertheless, the mere act of disrupting the status quo holds significant potential for transformation, both for the narcissist and for those affected by their behavior. To illustrate this point, consider the following scenario. A narcissistic individual dominates their social circle, manipulating friends and family to secure their loyalty and admiration. Enter an empath, a close friend or relative, who begins to question the narcissist's motives and call out their harmful actions. At first, the narcissist dismisses the empath's criticisms, dismissing them as jealousy or misunderstanding. However, as the empath persists, enlisting the support of others and refusing to back down, the narcissist's influence begins to wane. One by one, their allies distance themselves, recognizing the toxicity of the relationship. Left isolated and stripped of their power base, the narcissist faces a reckoning unlike any they've experienced before. This example underscores the ripple effects of the empath-narcissist dynamic. When an empath chooses to stand up to a narcissist, they not only protect themselves, but also empower others to do the same. By shining a light on the narcissist's manipulations, they expose the underlying dysfunction and inspire collective action. In doing so, they create a ripple effect that extends far beyond the confines of the original relationship, fostering a culture of accountability and authenticity. While the empath's impact on the narcissist is undeniable, it's equally important to acknowledge the toll this process takes on the empath themselves. Confronting a narcissist requires immense courage, resilience, and emotional fortitude. It involves navigating a minefield of manipulation, resistance, and retaliation, all while staying grounded in one's values and intentions. For many empaths, this journey is fraught with challenges, testing their limits and pushing them to grow in unexpected ways. One of the greatest risks for the empath is burnout. Constantly absorbing and processing the narcissist's emotions can leave them feeling drained, overwhelmed, and disconnected from their own needs. To mitigate this risk, it's essential for the empath to prioritize self-care and seek support from trusted friends, family, or professionals. Therapy, in particular, can provide a safe space for processing emotions, developing coping strategies, and reinforcing healthy boundaries. Another challenge lies in resisting the temptation to retaliate or exact revenge. While it's understandable that an empath might feel anger or resentment after enduring prolonged mistreatment, succumbing to these impulses can undermine their moral compass and perpetuate the cycle of harm. Instead, the empath must focus on constructive approaches such as assertive communication, boundary setting, and forgiveness. By maintaining their integrity throughout the process, they not only preserve their own well-being, but also model the kind of behavior they wish to see in others. Ultimately, the empath's ability to destroy a narcissist's life stems from their capacity to expose the truth. By refusing to participate in the narcissist's illusions and calling out their manipulations, the empath strips away the layers of deception that sustain the narcissist's sense of superiority. Without these illusions, the narcissist is left naked and defenseless, forced to confront the raw reality of their existence. Whether this confrontation leads to growth or collapse depends on the narcissist's willingness to embrace vulnerability and change. So, where does this leave us? Is there hope for redemption in the aftermath of such a confrontation? The answer is complex, reflecting the intricate interplay of human nature, free will, and circumstance. For the empath, the journey is one of liberation and empowerment. By reclaiming their voice and asserting their boundaries, they pave the way for healthier relationships and a more fulfilling life. For the narcissist, the path forward is less certain. Some may choose to embark on a journey of self-discovery, seeking therapy and support to address their underlying issues. Others may double down on their defenses, retreating further into denial and isolation. Regardless of the outcome, the empath-narcissist dynamic serves as a powerful reminder of the interconnectedness of human experience. We are all shaped by our interactions with others, for better or worse. When an empath chooses to confront a narcissist, they not only transform their own life, but also contribute to a broader shift toward authenticity, accountability, and compassion. In closing, let's return to the question posed at the beginning of this video. Why is it that only an empath can destroy a narcissist's life? The answer lies in the empath's unique ability to see through illusions, expose vulnerabilities, and challenge the status quo. By wielding empathy as a tool for truth and justice, they have the power to dismantle even the most impenetrable facades. Yet, this power comes with a price, requiring immense strength, resilience, and self-awareness. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of one of the most compelling dynamics in human psychology. If you found this discussion insightful, please show your support by liking, subscribing, and sharing this video with others. Your feedback means the world to me, so don't hesitate to leave a comment below sharing your thoughts or experiences. Until next time, remember, every relationship offers an opportunity for learning and growth. Embrace it with an open heart and watch as transformation unfolds before your eyes.